welcome. I'm a vintage collector and a vintage shop owner. I've been collecting for over a decade now, and I wanted to share the luxury designer silk scarves that I have in my collection from the 1980s, 90s, and early 2000s. I'm going to give you a little bit of knowledge about them as well as show you the details and just some of the most iconic, beautiful prints. I'm kicking it off with this 90s Chanel large square scarf, and this one is such a beauty because a lot of the 90s, 80s and 90s Chanel scarves have the jewelry icons in it, so these interlocking C's and the scrolls, as well as the camellia floral in some capacity, as that's the flower of the Chanel house. And then this one is in silk twill. So silk twill means it's 100% silk, but it's a little heavy. Not super heavy, still has a nice drape to it, but is pretty durable. And it has hand-rolled hems as well. So all of the luxury scarves have hand-rolled hems, which is a nice detail. And down here in the corner, just in case you missed it, it does say Chanel on it. If any of the scarves have their original tags on it, I leave them intact. And if they have their boxes, it will note that it comes with their box. On my website, some Chanel scarves and some Hermès scarves do come with their original box. But this is an all over floral print. And like I said, pretty iconic if you are shopping for an 80s, 90s Chanel scarf. These are the highly collectible ones, and you'll see a lot of variations of the floral mixed with the jewelry motif. Okay, moving on to the next Chanel scarf that I have. This one is a beauty as well because it's pretty standard, iconic for more of an 80s style Chanel, meaning jewelry all over, but with a black ground to it. So a lot of the 80s had more of the jewel tones, gold, black, more of that, just like, you know, when you think of 80s, the 80s colors to it. But this one is really unique because you can see the fabric is textured. So it's a textured silk paisley, and just so beautiful with the border print to it. So this one looks really beautiful. You want to, with a border print like this, I personally love styling them in some manner so that you get credit for the border. So this is just like a half folded handkerchief, pops really nice off white, and yeah, you can really see the print on it. Okay, now I'm gonna get into some of the rare Chanel scarves that I have for sale in my collection. I have this beautiful drapey Chanel scarf, and I wanna show you this one because it has its original tag on it, which is 1994 Cruise collection, as you can see there. And it is 100% viscose rayon, some sort of blend, but it also has these beautiful florets on the hem, which I just think is so beautiful. And Chanel is in like the graffiti print, which I think was part of a collection in, 94, 95, 96. And it's kind of like a blush pink. It's oblong, so big I can't even really show you in the camera, but it's so beautiful because you can like wear it as an infinity loop like this, which I just think is so beautiful. And yeah, it's a super rare style. Okay. Moving on to some of the other rare Chanel scarves I have. I have this rectangular silk scarf. So it is just a long rectangular style, 100% silk, has a really nice drape to it. These beautiful pastel colors and the camellia floral on it as well, which is just a beauty. This one you can do a lot with. I think it looks great just like draped over your shoulders. Also is a good one for tying like a bow onto a handbag. You could wear this as a scarf in your hair, tied around as a bow in your ponytail. It's a really versatile shape in the rectangle. And honestly, you don't see a lot of Chanel scarves and or designer for that matter in the rectangular shape. Okay, this is a newer one. I think it's only a couple years old, but it's the Lucky Charms print. It has all of the Chanel icons on it, and this one I do know comes with its original box. And like I said, it's only a couple years old, but it's a really hard one to find. Typically, the newer ones, there's not a ton out there for sale. This one has a really, really beautiful hand feel to it as well. And it is black with white and kind of like a blushy, almost violety purple. And whenever a scarf has, this is only like 3 colors in it, right? I love when it has a lot of black, popping it off of a black sweater, top, tank. I think this one would look really chic like that. Okay, so now I've got one last Chanel one to share with, oh, actually 2. I got a lot of Chanel in my collection right now, and a lot of bags too, if you watched my last video where I showed my entire Chanel handbag collection. But this one is one of my favorites. This is true on 80s Chanel, like I was saying, all of those jewel tone colors, like the red and the emerald green and the jewel tone cerulean blue, and obviously the pearls, which was very much an 80s jewelry motif. And this one's in an extra large shape as well, so it's more like a 38 by 38 inch square. Such a beauty. I'm really known for the quality of my vintage finds, so everything is in excellent to mint quality. I really do a job kind of combing through everything, unlike a lot of other sites out there like The Real Real. I can't tell you how many scarves I bought on there and had to return because they have markings all over them. And while some of my scarves may have a mark or two, it is nothing that is going to take away from the beauty of the scarf. Okay, like I said, last Chanel scarf to share with you today. This one's a little hard for color in video and photo, so I wanted to just bring it up a little closer here. It actually is green. It's not as gray as it looks in the photo. And you see the subtle pearls in the background. This one is such a beauty. I love these feminine, more feminine, subtle prints and colors with something muted. So like muted tans or creams really make something just really chic and effortless and feminine. This one down here has, you know, the Chanel signature. They all have the Chanel signature in them. Any designer scarf will have the signature in the scarf. Okay, I'm moving on to Hermès. So moving on to Hermès, I have 2 Hermès to share with you today. All Hermès twill scarves are 34 inches by 34 inches in a square, and they have a print name to them. This one is Fantasies Indiennes. So it's Indian Fantasies. It has a lot of motifs from India, and you can tell it has a border here, and then I think this is like the tree of life, which is beautiful. I love the colors in this one. There's a lot more kind of traditional classic colors in Hermès, like the equestrian, nautical kind of navies, whites, reds, black, yellow, browns. And this one is just really poppy. I love when scarves have a lot of pop to them. Since this one has so much white, it feels a bit summery as well with the neons. So I would love wearing this one with white. I think that's how I styled it on the photos in my website. And this one has its original tag on it. Such a beauty. Yeah. Okay, and then I have a more feminine Hermès scarf, which is really rare to find in the older vintage styles of Hermès, because most of Hermès was equestrian and kind of more of leaning towards like travel and international motifs, versus this one is garden. Really, it's called romantique because it's so romantic. Like I said, all Hermès scarves have the print name at the bottom. So this one says romantique down here. And this one actually came in a bunch of colors. Hermès is known for doing a print and then doing a lot of variations of that print in multiple colors. So this is the green with all of the beautiful pastels on it. And she's a beauty. Frame worthy, if you ask me. All right, now we're moving into Gucci and then Pucci. So this is a traditional Gucci. This one is probably from the 60s, if you see the tag here. This is 100% silk. It's a border floral scarf, which is signature Gucci. They do a different variation every single year. This one is so bright and summery with the baby blue and then just the bright primary colors. I would love wearing this one with something white and or kind of color matching. Anytime I see a bright, bright scarf, I also like to pull out one of the colors in it and kind of style it that way. Like I said, they all have their signature. This one is 34 inches by 34 inches, so standard. And then this one is a little bit newer, maybe 2000s, but it is a picnic scarf. And I love this one because of the colors in it. And just love this like bubblegummy pink. And you could see it's kind of like a French picnic. We've got some gloves and some nautical stripes and a basket of flowers. Just really beautiful. And down here it has a really fun kind of hand-painted Gucci logo, which is just unique. So this one will also be fun with white, especially because it's all over color. It really doesn't have a ground color at all. So you're gonna wanna ground this puppy with something really neutral. And I think white would be the one on that. And this one is, okay, and then I have, this one is 80s Gucci. So it has like a bamboo planter border, which is just very cool and thoughtful. And then we have all of these pots with some orchids and tulips and hyacinthia and all of the beautiful spring florals. So this would be a great gift for any garden lover. I just love all of the bouquets and just the little hits, if you can see. Do you see like over here, where is it? Like right here, it says Gucci, little tied on the flower, just so cute. And then it also does say Gucci down here at the bottom as well. So she's a beauty. All right, moving on to Pucci. So I love Pucci, especially as the weather warms up and or if you're going on vacation. Pucci is so punchy with all of the geos and bright colors. I also love when Pucci has some black in it or something that kind of grounds it. I think that's a little bit easier to wear when you're not on vacation and maybe you're bringing vacation to work or to whatever you're doing. So this one has just this very signature iconic Pucci, and you can see it says Emilio just in some of the scripts on it. And this one, of course, has its original tag as well. So, did I show you? Yeah, there you go. And this one's a large square. Pucci actually did more options and more of the small square, which I think is like more of a 20-inch. This is 34. Chanel didn't do small squares. Neither does Hermès, and neither does Gucci, but Pucci does. Okay, and then I have one more to share with you. I've got this Pucci, and this one is silk, but can you tell it's a little bit more sheer? So it definitely has more of like a summer kind of feather weight to it, very, very drapey, just kind of like a sheer chiffon. Again, you can see all of the Emilios on here. And this one's fun because it has neutrals and pinks and orange, and I just really love the warm kind of color palette on this one. So, and also the fact that you could wear it with any one of these neutrals and it would just be super versatile. So, okay, I hope you enjoyed this. You can shop all of these on my website, and I'll catch you on another review or unboxing soon.